Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are Rumble Pop Live, and we're here to fuck you up. No, we're not. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Wow. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that's appropriate.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
That's not appropriate, man.
We're late. It's Kevin's fault. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Everything's my fault.
It's Kevin's fault. He was late. Were you late?
2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes late? No, you were way late.
No, it was
We were on long before you got here.
7:15, sir. We all get on at 7:15, and you were not here. And I said, let's wait for Kevin.
Who gives you the right to act like a Mexican, Kevin?
Sir, why stereotype yourself? Don't stereotype yourself. That's so wrong. That is so wrong to stereotype yourself, sir. So wrong.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm always late, bro. I'm always late. I don't give shits.
Oh, jeez.
Well, with that, thank you for tuning in. We're talking about sequels, guys. We're talking about sequels that are superior sequels that were better than the originals, right? That's what we're talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have Kevin do some quick introductions, and I'm going to do a little background work, and we're going to go from there. So enjoy Kevin's quick introductions. We call them Kevin Quickies.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rumble Pop. And let's introduce real quickly the madman to my left, to your right. He is from Ohio.
Am I?
I believe he's from Ohio. He was the 2000 Kent State University's Mr. Beefcake. And for reasons unknown to me,
Am I?
He was, I believe he's from Ohio. He was the top 10 most desirable men in Los Angeles for 2023. Also, he is DC Comics for life. If you have a problem with it, he just might pop you in the mouth.
That's true.
So give some love to this socially lubricated madman. He is the original Don!
Thank you. Thank you to all the little people that made me who I am today.
Lubricated man.
That's right.
I'm talking about they're like this tall.
Hobbits?
Yeah, sure, hobbits.
Okay.
The big hairy feet. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Big hairy feet.
Yes, big hairy feet.
Next week.
I got another one. Okay. That's
Next,
fair.
we go to a powerful young lady from the Great Pine Tree State of Maine. She is a woman of high character, of high sophistication, has
Wait.
highbrow cinema
I don't
taste.
think she's on here.
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay.
She is the Empress of Disney Knowledge. She is the co-host of a podcast with her sister called Yesterday, Tomorrow, and Fantasy. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for the tranquil, the tender, the tantalizing Miss Tracy Lou.
Hey. Hello.
Next, we go to another powerful, strong woman who comes from the Grand Canyon state of Arizona. She is a woman of high moral character. She lives the Cobra Kai lifestyle. She is one of the top 10 Polynesian dancers in the United States today. Ladies and gentlemen, give up for this wonderful cat mom. She is the brilliant, the bewitching Miss Bonnie Tuttle. And last, but certainly never the least, he is a man who always turns the other cheek. He is a man who was born and raised in the harsh streets of Santa Clarita, California. He is a third-party warehouse distributor for Disney. He has a YouTube channel.
Just say he works for Disney. It sounds so much better.
Fine.
Third party. It makes him sound like he's a third world client.
No, he's not.
That's what it sounds like, though.
This man drops bars like no other.
Yes.
He is a urban lyricist. He has a YouTube channel.
He's a crazy fresh creep dropping mad bars.
And he's cray if you mess with him. Ladies and gentlemen, he has a YouTube channel called Osiris Reed with superb gaming and hip-hop lyrics. Give it up for his second appearance on Rumble Pop. He is simply known as Big Sal Hernandez.
Wow, that was intense.
That was pretty intense, yeah. We lost 5 viewers.
Me.
I'm just saying, we lost 5 viewers. 2 comments already said, suck it.
And of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Brother Kevin. Brothers and sisters of YouTube land, we're going to delve deep tonight into a fun
We're
topic.
going to get up inside you.
Get up inside you in a good way.
Yep.
We're going to discuss sequels that we believe are better than the original movie.
Uh-oh. We got a couple comments. Everybody, my mom and dad is on. Say hello to my
Hi,
mom
Mama
and
and
dad.
Papa
Mom and
McKinney.
Dad.
Hi, mom and dad.
Hi, Mom and Pop.
Happy
Uh-oh.
Juneteenth to you, brother.
Yep, Dane's popped in. He says, Happy Juneteenth. Thank you for joining, Dane. We always appreciate you being on. I have a few things I would like to start out with for the day. Comics? Sure, let's get to the comics. But first, let's talk about stamps.
Oh.
Yeah. So, as I thought we all knew, stamps cost 63 cents a piece,
Well, now if you get the Forever stamp.
right?
If you get the Forever stamp, I don't notice the difference.
That's the same.
Oh.
It's 63 cents.
Okay.
But you could use those stamps
Forever.
if they go up, right? Yeah. So I thought everybody knew how much stamps cost, but I asked Tracy. She thought they were 20 cents, I think. Bonnie said they were
38.
33 cents or something. And Sal said, I don't pay for stamps. So I was so confused at that point. But here's the whole thing with this. Stamps do cost, I believe it's 63 cents. So I went to Universal Studios, and one of the largest theme parks in the world, and it's in Hollywood. And I went there, and Sammy, who's a friend of the podcast and is often on, and she's in the chats right now. Oh, she's gonna hear me be complimentary
Hi,
to her.
Sammy.
Hi,
It's gonna
Miss
make me
Sammy.
sick to my stomach.
Sammy.
She bought me a whole thing of Harry Potter stamps to use.
Oh, cool.
And what you can do is you can buy cards from Harry Potter Town, and you can use the stamps, and you can actually mail them, and they'll stamp it from Hogsmeade. So when you get a letter or a card, it'll say it's from, a town or a bar in Harry Potter world or whatever, and it's really cute. What they have failed to do, however, in these stamps that they have sold everybody on, is update the pricing on the stamps, as these are 55-cent stamps, and indicated as such, to where you now need 8 additional cents to mail each stamp.
That's terrible.
So if you are mailing, now hear me out on this, if you are mailing a card from Harry Potter World with a Harry Potter stamp, do you want to add other stamps to ruin the aesthetic? Like another 10-cent stamp or some 2-cent stamps, a bunch of stamps on it? No. So what you have to do is add 2 stamps. So one letter, instead of costing you 63 cents, ends up costing you $1.10, which is bullshit. And to that, I say boo on you, Universal Studios in Hollywood. Get your shit together and sell stamps with the updated price, you cheap sons of bitches.
They should just have Forever stamps. I don't know why they didn't work
Yeah.
out some deal.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know either, but
Harry Potter Forever stamps would be a good
I
idea.
think probably the reason why is because they had to make an agreement. They had to buy them in advance and in bulk, and they're still going through them because they didn't push them enough, because I don't think enough people know about them.
I didn't know
I
about
didn't
that.
know
know
about them.
about
None
it.
of us knew about them. So that is the deal with the Harry Potter stamps. So if you go there, know that you're going to have to use 2 stamps from there to mail somebody a letter. So now, let's get to
They better use
comic
an owl.
Don't
books.
get that crap at Disneyland.
No, you don't. It's true. You don't. No, they're on their shit. They're on their game.
They better use an owl to send that post stamp for me.
Hell yeah, dude.
$1.10.
So I read some comics over the weekend, and I inadvertently read all female or feminine energy positive comic books and did not know that that's what I was going to be doing.
Okay.
I had no idea, but everyone I read was exact same kind of a message, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I was like, did I do this on purpose? And I was like, no. This was purely accidental, but it ended up being a good weekend, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, from Dynamite Comics, they revamped and renumbered Betty Page. And instead of going the usual route with Betty Page, doing something dumb, they actually have something fun going on in this story. And I don't say that meanly, because friend of the shop, David Avalone, wrote Betty Page for a little bit, and he did a fantastic job. When he was writing Betty Page, it was pure fire. But there was a little bit of a lull in Betty Page prior to that, and now that they brought it back, this one carries on the Avalone legacy of Betty Page and tells a fun story. It's a little slow at the beginning, but you got to stick with it. It tells a story of her and her modeling, and her, being photographed and stuff, and getting cast in a movie and finding out that things are not what they thought they were. So it's almost kind of a Scooby-Doo-esque mystery involved in this story. So it ends up being a lot of fun for this first issue. So I highly recommend it. I think you should check it out. I think it's gonna just get better and better. So I would say the Betty Page one is a great start to what I've been reading. I followed that up with one I was a little worried about. I started to read it. It's Death Drop Drag Assassin from Scout Comics. Now, this is a story of a drag queen that is a ex-assassin and has quit that life to perform and live the life that they wanted. So suddenly some things happen, and they get drugged back into the life of the hitman assassin world in order to try to save some people closest to them. So it was a little bit touch and go at first, but it caught me about halfway through until the end, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a couple more issues to see where this goes. So it's not perfect, but it's worth another look. So I would definitely say if you have a few extra dollars and you want to pick up something that has potential, this would be the title. So try that. Next, I read this one, and this was just fun on a bun. This was Click Click Boom. Now, this one is from Image Comics, and this tells the story of, get this, a somewhat assassin girl that cannot talk, but communicates. She can't do sign language either. She communicates through Polaroid pictures. So she'll take pictures of people or events, and she'll show people these things in order to communicate with them. And there's a news reporter that's finding out about a multinational conglomeration where people are starting to wind up dead, and she starts investigating them. And she's more of a blogger or a podcaster. And she gets involved, and she gets in trouble, and this girl comes to her rescue, and she has to figure out what the hell she's talking about, communicate with her, and it's just a lot of fun. This character here, the lead, the mute girl, she's a blast. She's a lot of fun. I can't wait to read the next issue. So I would say this is probably my pick of the week, would be Click Click Boom. Highly recommend it. We're going to follow that up with Summoner's War Awakening. Now, this apparently is the sequel to Summoner's War. Awakening is the sequel to that. It's written by, if I recall, it's Justin Jordan, who's written some great stuff in the past. Here he is fleshing out his world, his very, I would say, Tolkien-esque world of sword and sorcery. A summoner is somebody that reads from a book, an incantation, and can create magical entities or magic things to happen. Here's the world that he's built inside of his mind and put to printed page. It's decent. I think that if I had read the original Summoner's War, I would probably be more enthusiastic about it. But for what it is right now, it's still an enjoyable read and worth your time. And
did he do Luther Strode? Justin
yes,
Jordan?
he did. And last but not least is Bursting from the Pages of Barbaric. If you don't know that one, it's about a barbarian with a talking axe that thirsts for blood. It's kind of a cool concept. And in this one, it's Queen of Swords #1. And this is a fun trek into the sword and sorcery world. All very female, strong, feminine, positive role models in here, so to speak. A very good sword and sorcery type story. I do recommend it. It is a great companion to the Barbaric series. So if you get a chance, Queen of Swords, check that one out also. Tracy, did you get to read any of those?
I did not. I did no reading.
You know,
This
Tracy, I
past
was
week.
thinking probably since you've fallen behind so greatly now, that I should read them to you out loud, maybe at the shop. So I was thinking probably on Tuesdays in the afternoon when Elvin, who's my coworker, gets there, he can cover the desk, and we can sit at the couch, and I can read to you and then show you the pictures.
Like a child, basically.
Well, and then we can go from there. You know, we can create a readers club where, you know, more people such as Tracy that
Yeah.
do not have time to read the new books that come out.
Will she sit on your lap too while you read her the story?
Now you're just being
Are
kinky,
you
Kevin.
catching up?
Milk and cookies?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
catching
Exactly.
On all my reading this
Exactly.
month. I'm catching up on all of it.
Okay, good. John
Yeah.
Fox says comics and coffee. John, I've always wanted to do that. I just don't have enough me to go around. I wish there was another employee as great as myself. If there was, I can tell you what, that shit would get done. But unfortunately, it's only me.
Can't you clone yourself?
I wish I could. If I could clone myself, this world would be amazing. I mean,
Oh,
let me tell you,
shit.
unless we did that like thing where you made a clone of a clone and they all ended up kind of derpy, you know, and there's a bunch of derpies me going around.
you've seen Multiplicity, right?
In which case,
As if the current isn't already a little derpy.
nah, this is a little slight derp, but not that much derp. We got some comments. Let me shout these out real quick, and then we'll get started. Ricky Bobby is in the house. Hello, Ricky. Good to see you.
Hi, Ricky Bobby.
Sammy says, "What's up, Tracy, Bonnie, and Sal?" Wow. Dane says, "Spider-Man 2, the Tobey version. Let's talk about it." We will.
We will.
Sammy says, "Ha, you had to say a nice thing about me after she ignored me." I know, right? Big Sean's in the house. He says, "Late, but I'm here. Did get to hear the stamp rant." Yes, right? I sound like an old man, but it's fine. Dane says, "Terminator 2 better than the original. Talk to me." We will. Big Sean says, "DJ, I agree that T2 is better, but the first one is terrific, especially since Cameron had a much, much smaller budget." John, of course, said the comics and coffee. Sammy said, "Oh, dear God, no, don't do that to yourself, Tracy." I think she's talking about sitting down with me and being read to, which I think is a fantastic idea. I do voices and everything. And then Big Sean says, "My first vote for superior sequels is Short Circuit 2. Sorry, Steve Guttenberg. Much improved story and characters. Hardly a stellar movie, but entertaining from start to finish." Dude, that's
Mother
a tough
was
one.
Snowblower.
I love Short Circuit, and I love Short Circuit 2. I think I love them equally, so it's a little hard for me. I'd have to go back and rewatch them, but I'm not saying you're wrong. Definitely not. I love the idea that you even brought that up. And in fact, I have over there sitting by my closet a shirt that I wore earlier today, and it's a Short Circuit shirt. I shit you not. Kevin, go grab that red shirt real quick, can you?
The red shirt.
Yeah, the red shirt right on top. And then, actually, I agree that Dawn is the most together employee there. Oh, thanks, Big Sean. Yay, me. Yeah, that's it. Check this
Hooray
out.
me.
Check this shirt out, Big Sean.
Oh,
Says-
that's awesome.
No disassemble. Dude, it's like Rastafarian or something, right?
Rastafarian.
Jamaican. I don't know. It's got that color, right? The yellow, the green, and the red. I don't know. When I wear this shirt, I feel like smoking weed and eating plantains and sitting by the beach, growing my hair long. I can never do that, though. My hair will not grow. So there's that. But anyway, today we're going to talk about sequels that are better than the originals, which I think is a great idea because, you know, Kevin thought of it. And everything Kevin thinks of is great.
Wow.
I'm being complimentary. See?
Wow, all the compliments
I
today.
know,
I
right?
know,
It's
it's
crazy.
amazing.
Rare form.
Unbelievable.
I know.
This man woke up on the right side of the bed.
They're going to be like, he's sick or something. Something happened to Donald. It's going to be a podcast that somebody's going to create that's going to say, something happened to Donald.
Something
Did you have a
happened-
near-death experience or something? What happened to you?
Exactly. What happened to you?
No, near-death experiences. I had a dear-death experience once, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, let's get started, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, let's just do like a clockwise type thing where each person kind of brings one up. We have a master list. Everybody should have been given that master list. Am I correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I didn't get a master
Well, I
list.
didn't get no master list.
Well, you guys
My
created
video,
you guys created stuff on your list, so you could just pull from
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell
Okay.
you what. I'll reset it out.
It's
to
okay.
everybody.
And real quickly before I
now,
get
very long
before I get started, I just wanted to bring something up here. I have it on my phone, so I don't want to forget about it. But we have a really cool thing coming up. It's this coming Saturday, which is the 24th, if I'm correct. It's called Imagination Nation Superstation. And it looks like this, if you can see it. I wish I would
Kind
have.
of. What is
Anyway,
it?
it looks really fun, right? It looks like a big like world of imagination and stuff. And it is basically kind of a puppetry kind of thing. So our friend of the podcast, Gray, is performing as a puppeteer in this improv show
An
for
outstanding
kids.
puppeteer.
It's a week, this weekend, so it's this Saturday, June 24th at 2:30 p.m. at the Santa Monica Playhouse. The show itself is based on the old Sid and Marty Krofft shows of the 70s and 80s, and from what I heard, it's supposed to be a lot of fun. In fact, I'm going to be there in person, so if you're out there in the audience and you'd like an autograph, I'll be there.
Really?
After the show, signing
Autograph.
autographs. I'll be shaking babies and kissing hands.
Oh wow, like a politician.
Yes, like a disturbed politician, and it should be a good time. So, 24th, 2:30 p.m. at the Santa Monica Playhouse. So be sure to check out Gray and his puppeteer working. He does a fantastic job with his puppeteer work. He does a fantastic job pretty much everything. He also works on Big Brother, for those that do not know and are a fan of Big Brother. He does work on that also. So he's a scholar and a gentleman, and I highly recommend that you guys get out there this Saturday, Santa Monica Playhouse, 2:30 p.m. Show up early, buy your tickets, take your kids if you have kids. If not, go by yourself, take a friend. That's what I'm doing. You know, Maria and I are going to go. We're going to have a great time, and it's going to be fantastic. So please feel free to do that. But Kevin, you were going to say something before I interrupted with that idea?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. Tracy, do you have one that you want to pick?
Yes, actually. Let's see. I'm looking at my list. Let's start off actually with Pearl.
That's unique.
With what?
I know. Pearl.
What?
I'm not going to say it again.
I mean, is that a thing that you find in the ocean?
No.
It's inside the clams, right? The sea clams or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's
Pearl?
the like.
Wait,
No.
is it called Pearl Necklace and it's a different kind of video, Tracy?
It's not,
No. But if I did this right, isn't this like a prequel to that movie that came out last year, X?
Gonna give
Yes.
it to you,
It's a
Yes, indeed.
prequel sequel. Yeah.
right? Come on, Sal. Spit them rhymes. X gonna give it to you. X
To
gonna-
ya.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's better than X. I didn't think that there could be something better than X.
Really? I think anything could be better than X.
Oh,
X-
you didn't like it?
X was just about a horny old lady. If you think about it.
I mean, that's kind of what Pearl's about, but she's a young person. But it's
Very
like,
disturbing.
But she wasn't the horny old lady in X. And this is a prequel. I mean, she could be a
Right.
horny young girl. That
Sure.
makes sense. But
Right.
it was like a mongoloidy kind of old,
No, this is-
nasty, horny woman, right? Am I wrong? On
it's
X?
the same character. It's the prequel. It's the story of that woman as a young person on the farm, and it's way better because it's like freakier and scarier, and
Mm.
it's way more of a horror movie than X. X was kind of a weird jumping off point, but this was
Okay.
like actually kind of scary.
Okay, so
Not
the
scary.
premise of this is just a prequel. What's
Yeah,
the
it's
actual
like
premise?
so it's like we leave off, with X, we leave
Uh-huh.
off with like this woman, and we're like, okay, but how did this woman get that way? Like, how is there this crazy old woman with her old husband, and they're just like psychopaths? Like,
Oh,
how
wait.
does that?
So
happen?
this is a prequel. This isn't a prequel to the young girl,
No, this is a prequel to the old woman.
but the young girl plays her?
Yeah, the young girl plays the old woman in X and plays the young woman in X. So Mia Goth
Wait.
plays both characters.
So the girl from X played the porn star chick and the old woman, and
Yes.
now in Pearl, she's the old woman but younger and looks exactly like the porn star young girl from X.
Yes.
Mind-boggling.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great
And
idea.
It's excellent.
You're selling me.
Way better. It's way better than X, and it's.
Did you guys
really
get
messed
that?
up. I know. I mean, I feel as though maybe I chose like the wrong one coming out of the gate, but like, it's really good. It's on Showtime now, so
Oh, great! It's on Showtime, or you can talk to Showtime and he has a copy of it.
Probably both.
it's on Showtime.
Probably both.
You just have to give him the password, and he'll give you a burnt copy of it on
Right.
DVD. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, we got a couple comments. Let me pop these out real quick. Frank says, hello, everyone. I recently had the pleasure of visiting your wonderful city of L.A. and did not stop and see Donald 1 second of my time here.
No.
Huh.
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, that's a weird comment to have, huh?
Oh.
No, he didn't add. I added that last part. He didn't stop and see me. I was heartbroken. I was like, Frank.
And you cried a good
I was
cry.
at the Comic-Con waiting on him. I was like, where's Frank? I was shaking people down. Where's Frank?
You cried a
You
good
can
cry.
ask Sal. I shook like 5 people. Where's Frank? It was getting scary. They asked me to leave. Yeah, security did. I was security, so I asked myself to leave. It was weird conversation. Let's see. Sammy says I still haven't seen Pearl. Dane says, haha, the necklace joke. I've never seen Premise, which we described. Sammy says, how didn't you know that, Donald? Well, I don't know. I don't think that's common knowledge, Sammy. I could be wrong, but, you know. Let's see. Janet's on. She says, so happy you visited me, Frank, and the fam.
And the fam.
And Sammy says, Mia Goth played both. Yes. John Fox says, I think you lost half your viewers.
Oh, no.
Sammy says,
It's
already
not her
knew that.
fault.
Gerald says, the undisputed sequels are so much better than the originals. Scott Adkins is an amazing martial artist. Undisputed. Janet says, he really missed meeting you. And Kevin, we tied up Frank and made him stay with us. Poor guy.
Aw.
Poor guy. He was probably shaking and like, I need to get out. Big Sean says, will Tracy now explain the complete continuity of the Fast and Furious movies?
Yes, she can.
And then in parentheses, please don't.
She can.
DJ,
I couldn't. Who
Da-
can? No one can do that.
Dane
I'm not
says,
that-
well, you know, Big Sean, speaking of that, you'll see. Big Dane says, oh, just read it. It's really a porn horror slasher. Yeah, kind of. Frank says, Donald, I was so despondent about The Punisher getting canceled that I could not walk into a comic book store. And he's coming back. He's coming back. I told you.
He'll be back.
I got you. I'll write it if I have to. And Dane says, interesting pick, Tracy. And Sammy says, it's common knowledge, you dork. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
No. I think you're a drunk pirate.
common knowledge. You can know that.
Yeah, I think it's common knowledge. Sammy's a drunk pirate. All right. So, moving on. Bonnie, what's your choice? If it's another
let's see.
Pearl one, I swear to God.
No.
Okay.
So going off the list that I was given, I'm gonna go with Paddington 2.
Ah,
Oh, you
I
would.
know you like that movie.
Yeah, there's going to be a third.
it's like I
Bonnie,
got 2 picks in a row.
Bonnie and I have an uncanny love for this set of films and Paddington in general. In fact, let me just reach up here, and
Do you still have it?
there he is. There's my little
There he
Paddington.
is.
Hi,
Adorable
guys. Yeah. I bought him when I was in the UK.
I mean, really, who doesn't love Paddington?
Yeah. I don't
Right?
know. Monsters don't love Paddington.
All the cruel
But
people
Bonnie
know.
and I went to see Paddington 2 together at the AMC in Burbank.
We
And
saw the first Paddington together as well.
yes, we did. Yeah. We saw that one in, where was that? It was kind of Temecula-ish, or no? Or was it?
No, it was at
More-
the AMC Burbank also.
Oh, was it? Oh, you know what it
Yeah.
was? It was the Peter Rabbit that we watched someplace else. We drove to
Oh,
your
yeah.
area or
Brea.
something. Yeah,
I
that's it.
love Peter Rabbit.
We watched that, and that was also enjoyable. But Paddington, I had gotten back from the UK for my trip, and I had some marmalade, and I made us marmalade sandwiches and snuck them in my pocket. And we had a seat in the middle for Paddington, and we didn't pay for it. We just illegally took it. And Paddington sat in his own seat, and we had marmalade sandwiches and watched Paddington 2, and it was fantastic. So good. So good.
It's really
Very,
good.
very enjoyable.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
love the second one.
Do you think it's because of Hugh Grant? That's part of the reason why it's so much better than the first one?
I think he's having a revival for sure. And he is a great villain in that. He's a great villain in the Dungeons and Dragons movie that just came out this year.
Yes.
If you haven't seen that, he's great in that. He's doing this really good job of being like a shitty villain. And it's fantastic to watch him do. Yeah, it's a hoot. Yeah, I loved him. But also, who was the guy? I can never remember his name, but he was the cook.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson.
Thank you, Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson was phenomenal in Paddington 2. So, my hat's off to him also. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agree.
that was a fun one. There's just so many great moments in it. I remember we were cracking up when he was washing all the windows and he's doing his little bear rub on the windows trying to get them all clean.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he was
Doing
the ShamWow.
Doing the bare necessities.
Right? Kind of. Yeah, that's kind of like what he was doing.
Pretty much.
Let's see.
And then, of course, your birthday present that year was Paddington 2 inspired.
That's right. It was a pupping book. Yeah, she got me.
Yeah.
She got me the Paddington 2 pupping book that you folded open and a big thing would pop up of the city and everything. Oh, it's so nice. I have it on my bookshelf out in the living room. It's really.
That's very cool.
It was a
I didn't know that you were
really
such a Paddington fan.
nice gift. Yeah.
I
Oh
would
my
have
god.
never thought.
So
I love Paddington.
me
Who
and
doesn't?
my mother like turned me on to Paddington when I was a kid.
Really?
And I never looked back. And in fact, I bought 2 of these, one for me, one for my mom, and I said we're only a Paddington away. You know,
Aw,
because she's still in
that's
Ohio,
cute.
I'm out here in LA. So, the Paddington connected us. So but yeah, the Paddington's a sweetheart. Do you guys remember the Mad TV when they did the claymation specials for Mad TV in the 90s?
Yeah.
No.
And they did one of Paddington, and he was drunk and flashing people, and they had to send the cops in, and they tried to they got him in the back of the cop car, and they tried to shut the door, but he was rather large in some areas, and they shut the door on it, and poor Paddington had a hell of a time. So it was not a good time for Paddington to be drinking and not having any pants.
What was he drinking, by the way?
Oh no.
I don't know. Like probably some type of fermented marmalade or something, I would imagine, right? It would be
Yep.
something silly. Yeah.
I would see him. Yeah.
Is there such
getting toasted off.
thing as marmalade wine?
Oh, that's a good thought. Marmalade wine. I liked it. That
Well, I mean,
sounds nice.
well- Mead is honey wine.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Oh my God. Bonnie
Orange
and
mead.
I have a new gig. We're gonna make Paddington's marmalade wine. We're gonna make so much money.
yes,
Holy shit.
yes.
We're gonna be rich.
I'm down. Let's make that happen.
All right, I'm quitting my job tomorrow. All right, so let's read some comments
Side
really
hustle.
quickly. Big Sean says, my son can actually explain Fast and Furious. Where did I go wrong? Sammy says, Kevin slap him. I don't know who he's supposed to slap. He agreed with me. Dane says, Donald looks like Paddington.
Oh.
Not even close. That's disrespect to Paddington.
I don't know. I think we're both pretty good looking, so I'll let it go.
Do you have a blue
Alcohol
jacket?
talking.
You have a blue jacket like him?
I do have a blue jacket. Not like that, though. Those are interesting jackets. Frank says Paddington Bear had tea with Queen Elizabeth before she died.
Oh,
That's
really?
true. Gerald says that was the Gumby Cops episode. No, that was... Was that the Gumby Cop? No, there was a Paddington one, too, Gerald. I don't know if it's the same thing, but there was a Paddington one where he was flashing people, and he got stuck in the car. I remember that. Exactly. Frank says, think about all of the characters at Pooh Corner who walk around without pants. True.
By the way, did you ever see that horror movie, Blood and Honey?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't
heard
think I
it's really
can.
It's really messed up.
I don't think I can. Big Sean says Mad TV was so brilliant. The Rudolph claymation sequels for 3 Christmas shows were amazing. Yes, the one with what was it, like the Corleone kind of mob boss Rudolph thing. Yeah, they were inspired. They did a really good job. Mad TV was pretty fantastic for a while. For a while, they were better than Saturday Night Live, honestly. Janet says, LOL, no one at Pooh Corner have pants.
It's not Christopher Robin.
Yeah, it's true. If Christopher Robin walked without pants,
Yeah, there would be a problem.
I think we'd all get in trouble, yeah.
There'd be a
Everybody be in
Christopher
trouble.
Robbins, where does your pants go?
Yeah. All right, Big Sal, what's your choice?
Man, this was a tough one. For me, I had to go with The Dark Knight.
Okay, that's a good one.
Good one.
Like as much as I dislike Christian Bale as Batman, but what made that movie was Heath Ledger's Joker. And there's so much like lines that I could quote in that movie because of how much I enjoyed that movie and how
It's on Google Drive.
how he studied the Joker because he bought like over 100 comics to study what the Joker, who he was and what he did. And I think he did a phenomenal job, bringing that character to life in his own image, because we already had Romano, and then we had Nicholson, and then it was him.
It wasn't Ray Romano. It was
Romero.
Caesar
Caesar
Romero.
Romero.
Yeah.
I didn't say Ray Romano. I said Romano.
Well,
Whatever,
that
Romano.
only Romano I
Yeah,
know is
those
Ray
Italian
Romano.
guys.
You got to get it right, man.
But but I think Ray Romano as the Joker would be quite hilarious.
Nothing
That'd
is
be
better. Nothing
glorious.
is better than Tommy Wiseau as the Joker. Sorry.
Be a very whiny Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. When I first saw this, I saw this on the IMAX screen. There was like a pre-screening, and Nolan was there. And that was a really cool moment. Yeah, because he kind of described the film, described the opening, thanked everybody. He gave us all butterscotch candies, which I thought was very nice. Little butterscotch discs of candy.
That's
But
a little weird.
You had to compliment him on something in order to do it. So after the movie, he stood at the end of the theater, and we all lined up, and then everybody would have to say something complimentary to him. At the end, you had to have not said what somebody else did, so you were kind of guessing what the person like 6 up said, because you wouldn't know. So I just said that I thought he had nice teeth, because he's British. And it was just a good guess, right? And I got it right. And he was so happy about it, and because I was near the last person, second to last, I got 2 pieces of butterscotch candy.
You like
Oh, look at you.
you like butterscotch, don't you?
Yeah. And I remember the one guy, he was 3 up in front of me, and he said something, and Nolan didn't like it, and he was like, "No!" And he pointed like this, and 2 big dudes came over and grabbed the guy and dragged him out. And I don't know what happened to him. I didn't see him after that.
That's pretty scary.
I think they might have killed him.
So an angry Brit, basically.
I think they
British
killed him.
So he gave you 2 candies to suck on. If that's something.
Shame.
Hard candy, Sal. Hard
Yeah.
candy.
By the way, that's an underrated movie. Wouldn't you agree, Tracy or Bonnie?
Why are you asking
What?
them and not
Hard
Sal?
candy.
What?
Hard
Why are
candy.
you asking the 2 of
Yeah.
them? Why can't Sal have an opinion on this?
Well,
If it's a movie I'm thinking of, no.
you didn't like that
One
one?
of Elliot
Yeah.
Page's first movie, or one of them.
Yeah, one of her first movies.
Yeah,
we had
One
the arc light.
of
His.
first
His.
movies.
Oh,
With
yeah. Oh, yeah,
what's
that's
the
right.
guy's
I
name?
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Um,
he fucked up.
no.
Shouldn't have brought this one up.
He was in Watchmen. He was in
Why am I-
Watchmen. He played Night Owl in Watchmen.
Who did?
Patrick.
He was also in
No, no,
Patrick.
no.
Patrick.
Nope,
Patrick,
nope.
Uh,
She.
No, I'm talking about her co-star.
No, no, no.
Correct.
He's talking about the guy.
Right,
guy, the
Patricia Wilson now.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Patrick Wilson.
You talking about Orm?
No. I mean, I don't know. That movie's really fucked up, and I like fucked up shit, so I don't know.
You see?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't think I've seen it since the ArcLight days, but
Right.
that's one that stuck
Me
with
too.
me anyway. So
Me too.
that was a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Kevin likes
disturbing.
his balls clamped. That's what he told me one night. He confided in me. We watched that movie, and he's like, "That looks like something I'm into."
I wonder he has a high pitched voice.
Right,
Right.
right. Well, you heard him when he sat down, right? Did you hear it?
Oh, I did. I heard it.
Yeah. Saw
I heard
me
those
lean.
moaning noises.
Right.
Dark Knight. Oh man,
That's a good pick.
this was a fantastic film. Yeah, fantastic film. Masterfully directed and craftfully acted and performed. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was the voice of Christian Bale. I never
Look at
could
the Clint Eastwood
get
thing.
over that.
He sounds like Clint Eastwood in
It
some
was
ways.
just such a stupid choice.
It's not even just the voice. It's the premise of how he portrayed Batman was just all off.
Yeah, and it was 8
Batman
years,
is-
right? 8 years he played Batman. Yeah, like in the universe.
Yeah, and in those 8 years, he's still a brawler. Like, come on now, like Batman knows over 100 different martial arts skills,
Yeah.
and this
No.
fool is just throwing fists and headbutts. I'm like, who?
Guess he didn't train with Richard Dragon or Lady Shiva at that point. He went to freaking Ra's al
Ra's
Ghul
Ghul
in the
School,
League of
Shadows
Assassins.
School, the School of League of Shadows.
Yeah, was it League of Shadows or League of Assassins?
League of Shadows.
Is it League of Shadows?
You're thinking
Yeah,
of
League
you
of
think of an
Shadows.
online game. It's like League of Assassins. It's like some online
Is
game
it?
called that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
Dane says ha ha ha. Frank says Ray Romano. Everybody loves Joker.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good
Sammy
one.
says Heath Ledger was amazing. Dane says, haha. Sammy says, I saw Christopher Nolan at a DGA Dunkirk screening. I think what she meant to say is, I saw Christopher Nolan at a DGA drunk screening.
He used to come to the ArcLight a lot.
She
Him and his
showed up
wife
drunk at a
used to come
screening
into the ArcLight a lot.
of a film. And then she said, Patrick Wilson, poor Kevin. And Dane says, look at me. Listen to me. Christian Bale, Batman voice. Yeah, right? That's exactly how it would be. Okay, so I guess since you're on this side of the screen, you should go next.
All right. I got a good one for you. At least I think it's a good
Oh,
one.
it better be a film.
Yes. Let's go back literally about 5 months ago, or maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Whoa, language.
Language. I said Puss in Boots.
Whoa, calm down, Kevin.
Kids, Kevin, the kids.
There could be children watching.
I didn't even see that yet.
You haven't?
You haven't?
Neither have I.
Oh no!
Guys,
Haven't
it's
seen it either.
Oh my god!
It's just you and me, buddy. It's okay. It's great. Watch it. We loved it. Kevin loved it so much. There's a little character in
I
there.
mean, I love
Oh, yeah.
I loved the original. So
If you love Jiminy Cricket,
Oh my god!
take Kevin with you. He'll lose his
I
goddamn
will.
mind
I will. I love
during
that
this
character.
film.
I love
He will
that
lose
character.
his mind.
I love that character.
You have to take him.
I love
we're
that
talking
character.
Puss in Boots. We have to
Yeah.
have.
Oh my gosh, a real Puss in Boots, but just darker.
Does she have a sword?
Hey,
Huh?
It's a he. It's a boy.
Oh, well, fix that real quick.
Where's his boots at?
he does not have boots.
Can
Does he
you
have a
put
hat?
Can you duct
Actually,
tape
no,
a
he
butter
does have
knife to
boots.
him?
Who has boots?
Neville has boots.
There we go.
The other ones. Hi, the kitty.
Hey, Gray just popped in.
What's
We
up,
should
Gray?
mention something about Gray again. We mentioned it earlier, but let's mention something real quick. Kevin, take it away.
June 24th.
Yeah, 2:30.
Brother Gray at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be doing a puppetry show. And I believe in Santa Monica, correct?
Yes, it is at the
That's
Santa Monica Playhouse. Yeah.
Give this man some love. Come and support this man. He's a very talented puppeteer. He will bring joy to your heart and to your family.
Ray, real quick, do you have to buy tickets in advance? I need to know this also, by the way. Or can you get them the day of at the Playhouse? Do you think it's going to be sold out, or what's the deal with that? Let us know. Real quick, Frank says Puss in Boots sounds like a porn category. Well, Tracy will talk to you about that. Pearl,
Oh my god.
Puss in Boots and Pearl. That should be the sequel. Gerald says Puss in Boots 2 is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
it is. League of Assassins, says Big Sean. Yeah, League of
mean-
Assassins.
I mean, I thought it was League of Shadows.
League
League
of
of
Assassins.
Assassins? Okay, my bad.
Detective Comics number 4 or 5.
Okay,
The League of
my
Assassins.
Bad, my bad.
I don't know. I get it.
But ladies, you have to check out this movie. You'll be touched by it. You might even cry because there's such powerful moments in this movie. Especially the little doggy you see there, Perito. Oh man, he's wonderful.
Okay.
Perito is a wonderful character.
Gray says he thinks he suspects that you should get them ahead of time because it's a small theater. So thank you, Gray. I will get my tickets in advance for that one, for sure. Because Maria's going to be down there, I think, doing something. I can't remember what. And then I'm going to try to find a comic shop while I wait.
Heidi
and then
Ho?
we're no, I don't know. And then we're gonna go have lunch since we're down that way, and then we'll go over and watch the show, and then we'll have the rest of the evening to. I don't know what we're gonna do. We've been getting back into puzzles pretty hard.
That's good.
No, it's not.
No?
No, you ever heard of competitive puzzling?
What's wrong with that? That's good.
Okay, so I land into this zone where I feel like I've got this god complex. It's an interesting thing where I feel like the puzzles speak to me, like the pieces, and I can hear where they go.
Wow.
And I start talking.
You sure it's not a mental illness?
You know,
sir?
like when
sure it's not a mental
when you
illness?
start like when you're watching a game and they're kind of sportscasting your next move, what you're doing, and stuff like that. I do that for myself. I don't know
In
if
your
I'm
head or out loud?
out loud.
I think it's a mental illness you have, sir.
You think?
Yes, yes.
Should I talk to somebody? I think it's harmless.
Now, Bonnie, I
I'm
know
not hurting
you have
anyone.
connections to therapists. I'm sure you could recommend someone for him.
You're basically
I'm sure
Russell
I could
Crowe in
find
A Beautiful
somebody.
Mind.
Maria says I make it into a competition. It's not. No, I don't. It's just she doesn't want me to do the last piece of the puzzle, so she hides pieces away from me. There's a difference there. I think she's speaking out loud about herself a little more than me. I'm over there just grandiose, spitting like, how amazing I am at what I do, and she's quietly tucking pieces away in her bra or something.
So when you play
chess,
chess, do you feel the same way, or are the chess pieces speaking to you?
no,
When you,
not at all. I think the chess pieces refuse to speak to me. That's the problem.
when you play Monopoly, do the boots and the...
Okay, so I can't play Monopoly because the problem is I develop alliances. I enjoy that more than anything when it comes to Monopoly. I enjoy saying to other people, if you land on my spot, I won't charge you anything, and if I land on your spot, I won't charge you anything. But this person I don't like, so let's shut them out. And then like that person gets pissed because we're freezing them out. And then it's just down to the two of us, and then I end up stabbing the other person in the back and taking their shit.
How Monopoly is played.
You have quite a
I'm like-
quite imagination. You're quite the
I
imagination.
feel like that's how most people end up playing Monopoly.
Is it?
I think that people get really heated over
It's
Monopoly.
bad.
That's-
I broke up with
friendships
somebody
are
once.
broken
Okay,
over Monopoly.
There
I-
is one
I did.
episode of television that has like the most realistic game of Monopoly ever portrayed, and it's fantastic. It's an episode of Blackish with Anthony Anderson, and
I've seen it.
the oh
You're
my
right.
God, is that not like the
Yep.
best Monopoly?
I
game
was
ever?
instructed to watch it for that particular
It's-
reason.
It is so real and it's so hilarious. And the best part of it is
Mm-hmm.
that the gag of it is that the family has this ongoing thing where if he throws a tantrum and like has, like a big old fit, ruins the game, flips the board and all that stuff, like most people eventually will have one person do that, then he
Mm-hmm.
has to pay out everybody who's playing $100 real dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. I think you can find it on
A
Hulu
hilarious
still, right?
episode.
I think it's still available on Hulu where you can pull it up.
It is. It's on Hulu and also Disney Plus.
I wouldn't know though because I continuously get locked out of my own Hulu account, like for no reason whatsoever. It's fantastic. It's my favorite game to play, and then I got to go on my laptop in order to connect to my television and say yes, I still have an account. Sync that up, and then it syncs it, and about 4 or 5 months later, it's like, nope, you don't exist, and then I got to do it again. It's the best.
Shame.
I love it so much.
Shame on them.
So much. Thanks. Anyway, Grace says, let's see. It's a small theater. I suspect you might have to get to them ahead of time. It's an improv show with people, puppets, and even animated characters. Ooh. And he says it's the Santa Monica Playhouse.
Nice.
Big Sean says, Big Reach, Murder My Sweet, 1994 is the first Philip Marlowe movie. The next one, The Big Sleep, 1946, is better, even with Sweet being excellent. I have not seen either one, Big Sean, so maybe, hear me out on this, you come over someday around 7-ish at the shop. If you have it, bring it, we'll pop it in, and we'll watch it on the screen. We'll sit on the couch and we'll watch the movie. And then if somebody comes in to buy something, I'll tell them to cash themselves out, pay for it, and then just leave.
Wait, you've never seen The Big Sleep?
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. John Fox says, isn't that what Donald thinks every day? What is that, John? I don't know at this point. Sammy says, I feel like Donald would be the most insufferable, frustrating person to do a puzzle with. I'm amazing. Like, I'm really good at it. Like, probably the best. Like, seriously, the best. Frank says, someone could meet the missing piece of their life at a puzzle event. Maria says, lies. Whatever. Big Sean says, do they freeze in midair and you tap them into place like Neo? Kind of, dude, kind of. Dane says, Kevin, who did the voice of the dog in Puss in Boots?
Harvey Guion.
There you go.
Got it. I love that character, too.
And isn't he from...
Yep, What We Do in the Shadows.
Thank you, Guillermo.
He's Guillermo, yep.
Yeah, and
He's
in
amazing.
this season, he paid somebody in last season to try to transition him from human to vampire, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Didn't
is
work.
going to be a fun season. Well, spoilers!
Well, it didn't work last season. He's always trying to be a vampire.
I know, but it might work this season.
Yeah.
Gray says Monopoly ruins families. Sammy says, wait, Donald, do you think the pieces talk to you? They do. Big Sean says, Mr. Sean, have you seen the remake of The Big Sleep with Robert Mitchum? I think it was made in the late 70s.
I
And
don't like Robert Mitchum.
you know what? He did, what's the one? Cape Fear.
The original.
The original. Holy shit. Okay, De Niro, you think he did a great job, right? And then you watch the Robert Mitchum one, and you're like, De Niro who?
Well, we did mention
Like,
that
no
on the remix.
shit.
We did mention the best remix.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, it's a solid remake, don't get me wrong, but it didn't need to be remade because the Mitchum one is so fantastic. He's the creepiest sumbitch you've ever met in that movie. Just watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch
So
it.
you give it, as they say, the chef's kiss.
Oh, it just gives you chills. Just like his performance.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
For that.
Yes.
I see.
Big Sean says Donald is bringing Marxist ideas into Monopoly.
Marxist ideas.
Dane says I love Blackish. Great
Oh, no.
topic on Juneteenth. Maria says Donald is the one who would have to pay all of us. Dane says it is on Hulu. And then John says, your Hulu account, LOL. It is actually mine, John. It's the only one I have. And in fact, I've been shut out of every other account, and that is the only thing I have left, sadly. So I don't watch much TV. Yeah, it's tough. But you could hook me up.
Not to check that movie out. I never knew that Cape Fear was a remake.
You didn't know that?
I did not. I saw the Robert De Niro one, and that one was like, man.
No, Frank.
But if Donald says the original one is crazy,
Dude, he's so good. Robert Mitchum is so good. You can feel like the oil just dripping off of his hair. You know what I mean? Like he's just so sleazy and terrible and just delicious in every way. It's just so good. It's such a good role for him.
I like your descriptions.
It's such a good role for him, man. Like if you watch this, you're gonna be like a changed man.
A changed man? you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. You're gonna come in with your hair slicked back,
Boys to men.
and you're
Boys
gonna
to
start
men.
bullying people in the shop. Hey there, boy, you look like a nice fine piece of meat.
Whoa.
To Kevin, and he'll be like, brother, I like you too, Sal, but I gotta go.
Oh,
And then
no,
he's just gonna-
you don't want to do that to me. Oh, no.
Right. Big Sean says, always talking to Dane. Okay. He says the Big Sleep remake changes too many things from the book. Unfortunate, since Farewell My Lovely that Mitchum had made before was fantastic, worth multiple viewings. Farewell My Lovely. Yeah, Mitchum was great. Unfortunately, a lot of people,
They sleep on
he got kind of pigeonholed, right? That's a thing, right? It's not like a perverted
Yeah.
thing, right? It's like pigeonhole. Okay.
It happens.
Okay, it just sounded dirty after this whole conversation. Oh, I got pigeonholed last night. Did you?
Everything sounds dirty when you say it.
Yeah.
That's
Because
fair.
it literally, like, I pictured a man in a cage, like a bird cage, pigeonholed.
Hey, look at this. I am using my koozie from Christina and Enrique's wedding from 2018. Bonnie should remember Enrique as well as Kevin. The rest of you
I do.
don't.
Good dude.
I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's doing well. All right, back to it. Tracy. Wait, it's my turn.
That's your turn.
It's your turn.
I forgot. I forgot about myself. I get so excited about Tracy's next choice. Okay, so this is one actually I think Tracy can back me up on. So I'm going to do this
Okay.
one. Hear me out on this, guys. Hot take. Just hear me out. Okay? Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. Now, I know. We all watched the first one, right? But how many times have we rewatched the first one? Probably not many. It's not... It's honestly not one of those that's very rewatchable, the first one. But the second one... Now, if you were angry at it the first time you watched it, which I absolutely was, 100%. I was like, this is bullshit. What they did with Scarlet
Same.
Witch pissed me off. Everything made me angry. And then I realized that Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come out before WandaVision.
That's right.
So, thinking it that way and taking it out of context of following WandaVision, instead it precedes WandaVision, makes much more sense. Because at that point, she's lost her mind and she's shelled herself and secluded herself into this town and created this world around her that fits where she is because she had such a harrowing ordeal and she's so traumatized from the events that happened from Doctor Strange 2. So they did themselves a great disservice by flipping them and showing them out of order. So if you watch it in the correct order, Doctor Strange 2 becomes a symphony of madness. It is so fantastically fun. Where else are we going to get a zombified Doctor Strange? A Doctor Strange placing his aura, his soul, astral projecting into the body of a dead alternate timeline Doctor Strange, creating zombie Doctor Strange to then come and attack Scarlet and try to save the young girl America Chavez. Who, by the way, America Chavez, not needed for the movie. I get it. Not at all. You could have taken her out of the film and it still would have made sense. But the creation of the character and the fact that that character is important to some people, it's okay. I'm not angry with it. There was a young girl that worked at the comic shop that cosplayed at her because it was one of her favorite characters.
That's right.
I was cool with that. Like, I have no problem. I just wish that we had ingratiated this character a little sooner, a little more into the Marvel Universe before just kind of throwing her in there and expecting us to like her or know who she is or anything about her, really.
Yes.
So that would have been better to do it that way and build her up a little bit. But we get that. We finally get, and Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong here, we finally get the majesty of John Krasinski portraying Mr. Fantastic.
Very briefly.
Yes.
I mean, albeit very briefly, but talk about fan casting hype.
Yeah.
I've never... Okay, so up until that point, I never heard people lose their minds so much over one simple casting choice, like fan casting choice in a theater. Everybody in the audience, what? Oh my God! You know, because everybody wanted John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic, and he finally did. And that's not going to happen in the new Fantastic Four. So we get what we get.
Why?
We get what we get.
Yeah.
Why is
But
that?
but what else about this film draws to you, Tracy? What makes you think? And you guys, Sal, Bonnie, who's been Monty this whole time apparently. Sorry about that, Bonnie. And
Oh
Kevin,
my god.
what do you have any thoughts on this, or what do you think about this film? Also,
Yes. Same as you. When I first saw it, I was so disappointed. But then when you kind of flip the context, and I think on the second rewatch, I liked it a lot more. And I really was looking forward to Wanda being like more of a villain, like, and being very like kind of evil and like, you know, not giving a shit. And so that's what I love about it. I love that it's like the darker side of Wanda.
Oh, and it's dark. It's dark as hell. It's great. We also got Bruce Campbell. We get, you know, some more Bruce Campbell love. We get not enough of the multiverses, but we get a little multiverse love.
Need more multiverse.
We get a little more, of this tie-in within the Spider-Man world and stuff, and kind of we're starting to slowly see that Doctor Strange perhaps is going to be more the mentor of Peter Parker than Tony Stark at this point, because we have to pivot into that world. So that's going to start to happen and solidify. We get to see some other characters kick some ass. We get instead of Captain America, we get Captain, what is it? Captain Britain, but it's Betsy. Is it Betsy Braddock? Who is it? No, it's not Betsy Braddock. It's
No, it's
what's a show that was on
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter. Thank
ABC,
you.
Yeah, Peggy Carter.
We get Peggy Carter, and she's phenomenal. She does a fantastic job of playing just such a strong. Honestly, you watched her in the series that she did. What was it? It was
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was,
no, it was
Peggy-
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
You see her in Agent Carter, and you look at her and you don't think that she has that physical prowess, but then you see her in the role and you're like, shit,
She can do
like
it.
she can do this,
Yep.
So we get a lot of cool moments, and everything kind of, if you rewatch it, the fact that the fight scene with the musical notes
That
between
was
the
cool.
two Doctor
Sorcerer
Stranges.
Supreme.
That was cool.
Yeah, the Battle of the Sorcerer
Sorcerer Supreme.
Supremes. Yeah, fantastic to see
Dude.
and to experience. Rewatch it, guys. If you hated it or you just thought, rewatch it now, and you'll see it's like Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. I think it's better than Avengers 1.
I agree
You
with
know-
you on that.
And that's one that we didn't bring up, but I'm throwing it in with this story because I just want to mention that if you rewatch it now, it alludes to a lot of things that were going to happen, and now that you've seen them, it becomes so much more of a cohesive story. That Age of Ultron is actually, in my opinion now, and apparently Tracy's, is a superior film to the original Avengers.
You
So
know,
check it out.
when I was watching the new Doctor Strange 2,
hmm
and I thought, my theory of Wanda, I thought it was the Wanda that I'm pretty sure you know about it, where she took all the powers away from the mutants,
Yes.
and
Yeah. No more
I
mutants.
thought it was gonna. I
House
thought it
of
was
M.
gonna be
House,
her.
House of M.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be that Wanda, and then Doctor Strange trying to stop her, and I was like, dude, like she's super powerful in that series where she doesn't hold back.
Yeah.
But then you know what I mean. But obviously, it wasn't her. Which
The thing of it is, Sal, is that they've built her. They took time to build Wanda as this strong character. They did not do that with Captain Marvel, which I feel is why Captain Marvel suffers so much in the MCU. Because they didn't take
rushed.
time
It was
to
rushed.
build her, to create her strength, to make her such a fantastic
They
character.
made a DC mistake.
Right, they did a DC mistake. They made her ultra strong for no reason whatsoever. Whereas Wanda had to build to be this. And like we see her and she's like in somebody else, another Wanda's body, and she's like all like banged up and bleeding and shit and all crippled and stuff, and she's still moving almost like a zombie and shit. It's sick.
dude, that scene where she kills. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen it. That's your fault. Where
Wow.
she kills Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That shit made me jump a little bit. I was like, oh damn,
Yep.
because she comes up all fast and breaks his neck.
Mm-hmm. Right behind him.
And
You're like,
yeah,
yeah. Creepy as
And-
fudge.
it was super creepy.
That's
And
just
then
weird,
like
Mhm.
like because how he's in the mind of that Wanda to trying to rescue out of that dungeon that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
Visuals of this movie were just on point.
Yeah.
And I agree with you with that the one scene where he's fighting the Sorcerer Supreme and he's like, things just got out of little hand, and then then like the musical notes, I thought it was just genius. 'Cause
Right?
You did not see it coming.
That's all Raimi, man. I'm
Yeah.
sure of it, 100%. Raimi did all the
I
zombie
love-
shit.
I love Raimi.
Yeah, that third eye and stuff at the end, all that, the musical notes, it's all Raimi's inspiration. Like, watching that guy is simply masterful. Like, he's such a good director. Very underrated. In fact, we should do a podcast, a live show of underrated directors. I think that'd be great. Underrated directors, underrated actors, underrated composers. Let's just do a whole series of underrated and just do that. I think
underrated podcasters.
we could do it like on a live, or we could do it on an audio. Yeah, underrated
Sorry.
podcasters too. Yeah, you're right.
The first first Raimi film I saw was The Dark Man.
Great film. Great film.
Beautiful film.
He couldn't get Bruce Campbell cast as Darkman, so he put him in the end as Darkman.
He was in the end.
Yeah, for a wink and a nod, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. For a little tugger.
Dane says, "What If?" The series "What If" helped that movie, in my opinion. I have to rewatch it. Big Sean says, "I'm still not down with the ancient one being Tilda Swinton." Yeah, you know, it is what it is, though. I can't. If you're going to replace someone of a different ethnicity with what? Why are you looking at me like I'm freaking speaking Greek or something? With somebody of a different sex, I think that they felt that that kind of would balance it out, and I don't know so much that it did, but I do think that Tilda Swinton is a very competent actor, and I wasn't angry at her at all for being cast in that role.
You sounded angry.
I mean,
You
she
sounded angry in the theater. You
got
sounded
the
angry.
role, so
You sounded pretty angry at the movie theater.
I did not.
You looked
I
at
was
me.
when I was in that movie. Some kid behind me shit his pants. So I was very distracted the first time I watched Doctor Strange. He literally shit his pants. There was a kid, and he was probably 14, and he shit himself
Oh my God.
in the theater behind me. And then there was 4 kids and a mom in the front of the theater, and they just kept getting up and running around and screaming and shit. It was freaking madhouse. Sammy says, Donald, it takes place after WandaVision. Incorrect. She's trying to get another reality to find kids from WandaVision. Dane says, love the Doctor Strange comics. Any recommendations, Donald? Ooh, I would say probably, what's the name of the story, Kevin? The one where Doctor Strange goes with Doctor Doom down to find Doctor...
They go after Mephisto or something?
Yeah, they go after Mephisto to find Doctor Doom's mother's soul, I think.
That's right, they team up together.
Yeah, it's really good. See if you can find that. I recommend that one, Dane. Gray says Doctor Strange 2 was better and very Sam Raimi. Sammy says everyone is telling her the kids aren't real, but because of the events of WandaVision, she knows they exist somewhere. I'm telling you now, Sammy. Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come before WandaVision. You can believe me or
Triumph
not.
and Torment?
That's fine, but that's the truth.
Triumph and
Yes,
Torment?
Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment came out in 1989, Dane. You can still find it in trade form. I think it was a 4-issue run. So it's a small little graphic
just
novel
pay you $100
collected,
and you'll send it
or
to
like
him.
a special collected issue.
Just pay $100 and you'll send him the original collection.
John says, it's true. I like the thought process around, was there truly only one way to beat Thanos, and how which sacrifice is the right or good sacrifice? Yeah. And Sean says, best Doctor Strange comic story arc is by Steve Englehart and Frank Brunner in the 70s. I mean, they were on fire back then for sure. Big Sean says, Johnny English Strikes Again is my favorite in that franchise and better than the first one. Strikes is the third movie. Yeah, I could agree with that.
You know, I thought about something. When you brought up
You know-
Thanos, why didn't the TVA step in to stop Thanos?
The what?
The TVA? You know, Loki, you know, when he got introduced to that whole TVA.
Oh.
How come they didn't step in to...
That's Krang, isn't it?
No, but even before...
Kang.
Isn't that Kang?
Krang was the brain from Ninja Turtles. Shredder. Shredder. Stop that. Thanos. Yeah, I don't know if that would
But
work.
no,
So
but like, so who said that is there only one way? Obviously, it's not one way, because if you saw the Doctor Strange on that other multiverse, he killed Thanos by himself.
yeah.
How come our Doctor Strange didn't see that vision?
Right.
Well, I mean, I think he could only see so many visions. I mean, he saw
I mean, he saw
white
over a
vision.
billion.
He saw regular vision. He saw white vision, and then he saw a vision. So that's 3 visions right there. That's a lot of visions. Think about it. What if he was like, "Oh, I need a vision," and then just vision shows up? He's like, "No, not him." Grace says, yes, Raimi is very underrated.
God
Ward
dang.
says, what's up, party people? I just got done with Halo. Sean says, if you go back to the
Halo?
great comic source material by Jim Starlin, Marvel should have been the Captain Marvel for the MCU. I agree. They should have gone with Marvel.
Instead of making him a bad guy.
Right. Instead, they made him a bad guy. Horrible choice. Really, really bad choice. And a woman, if I'm correct, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Which, look... Some of the minor characters, you could probably get away with doing that, and we saw that with Tilda Swinton, you know, and not too many people lose their minds.
Right.
But making Marvel a woman Annette Bening, I think, if I'm correct, yeah? Of all people, was just an odd decision on Disney's part, like a Marvel's part. I don't get it, but que sera, sera. Ward says, here's a superior sequel, Terminator 2. Yeah, we've been over that. Sean says, and then brought in Carol later. Sammy says, I'm right. No, Sammy, you're wrong. Jesse Allen says, hey, guys. Kimberly says, hello. Well, hello, Kimberly, and hello, Jesse, by the way.
That's my friend Kimmy. She actually lives in Korea as she teaches kids English.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool.
You know, we have a friend. Actually, Bonnie knows her too.
Ren.
Yeah.
She's in Korea.
And she's in Korea and teaching kids English also. I wonder if they go to the
Nice.
same school.
You never know.
Wouldn't that be weird?
You never
I've
know.
been trying to give her some tips, and I told her, like, if the kids act out, just put them in a headlock. But she can't do that.
No. Mm-mm. Frank says, I wonder what category of durability Doctor Strange's cloak fits into in a Marvel RPG. That's a good question. Sammy says, how would she know about the... Oh, my God, Sammy. Janet says, yeah, this version of Wanda was lit. Dane says, the Visions jokes. Good one, Donald. Oh, thank you, buddy. He's the only one. I think he's the only one that got it. Sammy says, Disney confirmed it takes... Oh, God. Give it up, Sammy. You're wrong. And Kimberly's doing a smile. Anyway, that was my choice, and we're going to move on. We're going to do one more choice for everybody, and we're just going to call it. So let's be
So we gotta do
real
part
quick.
two of this then. This is so
real
intense.
quick about this on this one. So, Tracy, what's your next choice?
My next choice is going to be Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
It's a controversial
Han
choice.
Solo and James Bond together.
Yeah.
No ticket.
Don't have it.
Oh, it's on the Google Drive. Oh, no, this should be there.
Yeah?
Go. See? There it is. Right there. See?
Oh, see, you label things weirdly.
Because you...
It should be under I.
But
not under
last
Last
time I
Crusade.
did that, you got confused.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You just did it the opposite way earlier with the last picture. Okay, never mind.
Never going to be that one podcast where you two don't fight.
Right?
Oh,
Okay.
Called you a super nerd.
I can't admit I'm wrong, Sammy, because I'm not wrong. I'm right, 100%. Tracy, back me up. I'm right.
I mean, I think it was originally supposed to be that way, but then it didn't end up that way. It's
Right.
what
Yes.
happened.
Yes. So that's what happened.
Break it
Sandy.
down, Sister Tracy. Why
Yeah.
is The Last Crusade? Because I agree with you on this. Why
Uh-huh.
do you feel it's superior to Raiders of the Lost Ark?
One, it has the little kind of prequel bit on how he gets his hat in the beginning. And then
Yeah, it's
I
super
love
cool.
the fact that he's like trying to save his dad, who he kind of doesn't like, who he kind of resents, but he's still going for it anyway.
I
and
named
then-
the dog Indy.
And then
Exactly.
he said, and then you had the Last Crusader saying he chose wisely, or he didn't choose wisely.
And no offense to Kate Capshaw, because this was kind of the defining factor of what between Temple of Doom and Last Crusade that like pushed it over for me, is that Kate Capshaw is so freaking annoying in Temple of Doom. Like, she's so shrill.
Tracy, do you know who she is? She's Spielberg's wife.
Yeah.
Was
I
at
the
the time.
I know.
You know, he
Blasphemy.
might be personally insulted. Talk about his wife like
Here's
that.
what
I
I
know.
think.
I
I'm
don't know how
going
you fell in
to
love with her.
I'm going to
During the
create
formula.
a league of people that I'm going to have sleep with directors so I can get cast in
Wow.
films.
Wow.
Right?
So,
I mean-
Kevin, you're my number one. Yes.
I mean, was she not shrill? She was
Yeah.
very shrill in the movie
Send
and
you
very
that.
over the top.
She was.
And the woman that played the Nazi spy in The Last Crusade was just far better, and I loved that she was a double agent. It made it way more interesting.
I'll scream.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There, and I can't remember if it was this movie or the one a couple before it or something. I swear it's this movie where Harrison Ford goes in this castle and he's like, "I'm here for the tapestries." And he's doing this really poor Scottish accent, and they're like, "We don't have any tapestries in this castle." And he's like, "How can you call yourself a castle if you don't have any tapestries?" Am I wrong? Is it in Indiana Jones? I feel like it's in The Last Crusade.
I think it's in this one.
Yeah? Okay. I don't know why I remember that part so well, but it's just something that's
Yeah.
stuck with me over the years. The tapestry scene.
I think
There's
it's when he's talking to a butler, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
DJ's Free Sound FX is here. He says hello there. Well, hello, DJ's Free Sound FX. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you. We're just talking about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, how we feel it's better than Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I recently rewatched
And what about the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
at the New Beverly Cinema, Tracy. They played all three. And that's
I
where
watched The Last Crusade at the New Bev during that run.
yeah.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark, but yeah. Yep.
Which one out of the three would you say had the better music or the better score for the whole movie?
I feel like it's all the same, right?
It's all, I feel like they're all comparable to me.
Wait,
I don't
the
know.
second one. The second one. The reason why the first one is so similar to the third one, that the second one sets itself apart because they go a little more jungle-esque, tribal
Impressions.
drums,
Kalima.
things like that you
Yeah.
get.
Kalima.
I think it's. What do you think, Sal? Did I hit it?
Kalima.
No, for real. But I'll say this: the Temple of Doom. When I watched that as a kid, that one actually scared me more than the other three.
Well, the beating heart.
Because Kalima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we have a PG-13 rating because of that movie.
You know, when they say the greatest trilogies of all time, I think Indiana Jones should be in the conversation.
Well,
for
remember
sure.
when we did that tournament? That one and Star Wars eliminated each other.
Yeah. Rightfully so. I mean, just spectacular run, Indiana Jones, and then they shit the bed on
Agreed.
4.
With Kingdom of the Crystal. I thought you liked the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No.
You love that brother. What's his
I
name?
like it.
From Transformers. Shia LaBeouf.
I do think he's a fantastic
LaBeouf.
actor. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a great actor. I think Swinging with the Monkeys was a poor decision.
kind of reminded me of George
Stop
of the
it.
Jungle.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fake monkeys are going to teach me how to swing on vines so I can catch back up to that car driving really, really fast.
You never know.
F right off. F right off. My mom says, yes, it's in that one, the tapestry things. Big Sean agrees. And he also says Raiders is still the best, but Crusade is nearly as good. Temple of Doom problem with me is it takes place before Raiders. We already know Indy will survive. True. And the other Sean says these 3 films that probably influenced Spielberg and Indiana Jones: The General Died at Dawn, Only Angels Have Wings, and China. Huh. Have you ever seen that film A Night in China? Yeah, it's an adult film. It has the wrestling star China in it.
God.
Such a oh
man.
my god,
Really?
Donald.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
What?
no.
It's true. It exists.
No, I knew where you were going with it, but
Okay. Moving on. Bonnie, your next choice.
Okay, I'm gonna. This is a hard one because it's between 2 of these for me. I'm gonna go with Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
ooh,
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
oh man, oh shit.
Yeah, hot take on that one. It's actually, it's hard for me to say that it's better than the original, but I do think that it is just as good, right on par. I do think there are elements of it that are definitely better than the original. Certain elements, I don't know as a whole.
So you got that lovely
But-
feeling.
Indeed. But in general, like it's just an incredibly well done sequel. I don't know a single person that didn't like it. And then when it came out, like people were going to see it like 10 times within the first week. I
That
mean,
was
how
Darren.
many sequels has
Right.
there been recently that, you know, that's had that kind of impact on people?
It's a sequel that came out 30 years?
35, 36
30
years.
years.
30, 36 years.
36 years after the first that made over $1 billion.
A lot of money.
I don't think anything in the history of cinema has done that.
What?
There's not been a film that's been a sequel 36 years later that's made over $1 billion.
Technically, there has been. Technically.
What?
The Force Awakens. If you go after Return of the Jedi. If you don't count the prequels going by sequel, then that would be it.
Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens is part of a sequel trilogy to Return of the Jedi.
I don't think I like this
If you don't
idea.
count the prequel... Now, I'm not saying it's superior, of course. Oh, heck no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying...
Let's add that. That's also just as good as the original.
Like, can we qualify like
we go.
the number 2 movie, like the official actual sequel? So the second movie.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when we're talking like series and anthologies, it's
Hey,
not
Evan.
quite the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expect.
Now,
But
now
yeah,
we have
direct
clarification.
sequel.
We have clarification. Direct sequel. Yes, we never
Yeah,
seen anything,
direct sequel.
nothing like this before.
No. Yeah. And it's such a fun film. Miles Teller is a revelation.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
He's so
it
good.
was a really good choice as Rooster.
He was really good in what was that? It was the jazz one, the drummer.
Oh, Whiplash.
Whiplash. He was
yeah,
so
Whiplash.
fantastic in that, and he has the same nervous energy that Shia has, if you notice, and they both have that same energy that Robert Downey Jr. has. If you compare the three of them, they have that kind of a crazy kind of a, where they're doing things with their hands and they're constantly moving and they're talking and they're it's like this type of energy that you see on the screen that just makes you enthralled and entertained and draws you in with their performance. All three of them have that exact same thing. It's a je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying, Kevin?
Very French of you, sir.
Yes, thank you. I was in France.
Yeah.
I know this stuff.
I never really thought about it, but you're right. They do have a very similar like cadence and way they speak. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And people are drawn to that because that's a very like see me in the room type of performance. So when they would go in for the auditions and stuff, people would be automatically. So if you could find a way to the kind of draw people in with this kind of energy
Christopher
and
Walken type
show
of-
them
yeah,
your
Christopher Walken there.
performance and kind of bring them in to you, so they're kind of joining you with your performance instead of just watching you. They're part of it. They're in with you on the performance. Then they can see that, and then they'd be like, he's hired. Let's cast him. And yeah, absolutely. And this is a great film, getting back to it. When they were on enemy lines and they were trying to escape and they were on the airfield and stuff, everybody had their butt cheeks clenched. Everybody.
I see.
I mean,
They were clenching hard, weren't they?
yeah, well, I could tell you were. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no.
was your
Yeah.
finger in him that
Oh, no.
time too?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
About broke it off. I'm kidding. All right, moving on. Big Sal, what do you got?
All right, this is a sci-fi one, and Aliens.
Man, you son of a
Nice choice.
gun. I was gonna go there. Okay.
Oh,
that's fine.
wow.
That's
You've got
fine.
70 other movies.
Oh, yeah?
That's true. I'm joking. Go ahead, man.
I
By the
got a
way,
gun that-
I recommend the special edition of Aliens. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
You get some deeper context into Ripley's life and the fact that she had a daughter, and it was kind of
Isn't
cool.
it like 40 extra minutes? Of
Yeah, 40
footage?
extra
Yeah.
minutes of footage. You get a little deeper context
Yeah.
I'll show you
as
guys
to why
the
she
picture a little
has this
better.
motherly type of, guardianship of Newt, because her daughter had like died since years earlier, since she got frozen.
Well, yeah.
for the
Well, she
future
was frozen
for years, like 75 years or something like
I
that.
think it was like she died of old age. Her daughter,
Yep.
Let me
and
just say real quickly, I watched Aliens vs. Predator and Aliens vs. Predator Requiem
The first one I
last
liked.
week.
First one I
Both
liked.
of them.
I like the
last
first
week.
one.
I watched them both. I'd never seen them before.
Oh.
First one's fun.
First one's fun.
Paul W.S. Anderson
Yes, not Paul. not-
from Resident Evil
yes,
lore.
and the first Mortal Kombat movie,
and Ultraviolet
and the first Mortal Kombat movie.
directed that film. And it did a decent job because he also worked on the screenplay for it, if I recall. But then they did Requiem, and boy, did that get off the rails. They were like, let's make a Predator-Aliens hybrid, but when the alien bursts out of the Predator's stomach, it has the dreads. And I was like, are you kidding me?
see, I told you
I
that
can't.
movie. The only good thing about Requiem was when the Predator and the aliens were fighting.
Yeah.
That was the only good part. Everything else was.
I wanted everybody to die. I was
me
like,
too.
kill that
Me
guy.
too.
That guy's a piece of shit. He can die. What
Yeah.
about, he's also, everybody was kind of a piece of shit.
Especially in that
Yeah.
town, especially in that small town.
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't care.
Yeah.
All because that dude made a joke saying, I know who likes the sausage lovers, on the pizza.
Yeah.
But Big Sal, we need to write one more Alien versus Predator movie to complete the trilogy.
Bro, I'm actually working on one right now, and yeah, you could actually help me out with that. But
all right.
with Aliens, what I loved about Aliens is that the way James Cameron went into this to show that you could take an elite, special forces, Marines, Space Marines, and to do like to go see what's going on with the distress call, and they're being overrun. You know what I mean?
And they had some nice
And
weapons too.
They did, but if you remember where the lieutenant told them, you can't fire your guns,
Right.
because they were directly under the reactor.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Vasquez, who was a badass female character in that. And not only that, she was in Terminator 2. She's actually
The mom.
foster,
She's the foster mom. Yep.
yeah, she's the foster mom. And I love her character in Aliens.
Predator
Is,
nerd alert. Deep Predator nerd alert. Sorry, I just wanted to warn everybody. Sal, sorry.
It's all good, Peddington nerd. So, like I said, what I liked about it was that James Cameron shows you the brute force of like the outnumbers of the alien.
And then we see the
Yeah.
alien queen for the first time.
True.
And,
Yeah.
and that famous line.
Get away from her, slut.
I think so.
Get away from her, you whore!
I think it's, yeah.
Something
It's
like
one of
that.
those. I think it's how
I'm
it
sure
went.
that was an outtake.
Yes.
Hoochie mama.
Yes.
Nobody likes you.
Especially when Ripley gets into that, that suit.
Yeah.
The robotic.
She kept going, I'm a transformer.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I remember
Oh,
that.
that was
And-
that was
She was...
And Bishop. And then Bishop was awesome. You can't go wrong with Bishop. Love
sure,
Bishop.
but
Bishop's great.
I like the fact that
Hero
like,
of the
she
movie.
wasn't even she was in a cargo robot. It wasn't even a combat robot. It was like
Yeah, it's used for
move-
cargo. Yeah, used for cargo
Yeah,
lifting
you
things.
know what I mean. And she fought the queen like that.
Yeah,
it
super
works.
cool.
You know,
Super
She
cool.
gave it a nice, robotic backhand, and it
Also,
was
the James Horner score, beautiful.
I would say, okay, so I
score for that
don't
movie was
remember
great.
of the fourth one all
Alien
that well,
Resurrection?
but I remember it being silly.
that's the one.
So I would go 2, then 1,
Then 4.
then...
4.
Well, we're talking aliens.
Yeah.
2, then 1, then I would go
4.
Aliens versus Predator.
Oh, okay, you're counting those. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And
Yeah,
then I
okay.
would go
Alien,
4,
right?
and then 3,
Yeah.
and then Aliens versus Predator Requiem, I think.
I don't know why people
Now,
give
what about
3 a
Prometheus
bad
and all
rep.
those? What about those? Prometheus and
It's just
Alien
boring.
Covenant? Prometheus and Alien Covenant?
Oh,
What'd you put those?
I don't know. I don't know about those. I still don't qualify them.
Dude,
Anyway, sorry.
Covenant was a piece of crap. Okay, I don't care what anyone
Yeah, there we
says.
go.
Ridley Scott basically just erased everything from the first Aliens movie.
Plus
he
he-
made the aliens pathogen, like airborne.
Plus-
It's like, first of all, you don't do that.
Plus,
Like, why?
he blocked Neil Blomkamp from making his Alien movie. It was supposed to be like a sequel to Aliens, like a proper sequel to Aliens. But then
Yeah.
it really like, I want to make a movie now. So then they shut down Neil Blomkamp's. And I heard his script was really
Yeah.
good too.
No, I heard
Um,
it was going to be phenomenal.
Yep.
I'm going to be quick and just choose some. Frank says Carrie Henn, who played Newt, was living back and forth between the U.S. and the U.K. at the time that Aliens was filmed. That's why her accent is so idiosyncratic in Aliens. Big Sean says, Sean, oh my God, those are all... never mind, they're having a nerd off. Big Sean says, hard to make a choice. Aliens is such a different story and tone from Alien. Both are great. Alien 3, blah. Frank says, I like how people still smoke filterless cigarettes indoors in the year 2179 in Aliens.
That's funny.
True. Okay,
funny.
Kevin, real quick, another choice of yours.
This is going to be a little controversial for some of you. I was going to go with another one. I'm going to go with Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Nah, we don't have a picture of it.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Go now.
Here we go.
Can't. It's not there. You don't. You didn't even put it in there.
I'm not being silly.
I'm not. It's
See,
not in
it's
there.
right there. Look.
Where?
Go down. Go down. Stop being silly. Keep going. Keep
Did
going.
you put it?
See, there it is.
Oh,
The
so
Spy.
you put it under The Spy Who Shagged Me and not Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. And I'm being silly.
You guys have to work on your naming conventions.
There needs to be an alphabetical order. An actual film name is an alphabetical. Like, do you go? Never mind. I digress. I don't even know why you're bringing this one up because you're wrong and you're just going to anger Tracy and myself
That is fine.
And me.
and Sal.
Look,
And
And
First one is
Bonnie.
great.
Oh,
yeah.
second one though
You're
for
on your
me,
own.
I'm
For
not
me personally.
angry at it,
For
but
me.
I do disagree with you.
For me personally, how could you go wrong with Fat Bastard? How can you go wrong with Mini Me? How can you go with that song, Just the Two of Us? How
Yeah,
do you,
but the reason why is we were talking earlier. You weren't here. It's aged more so.
Then the first one?
Yes, it's aged.
Yeah.
The first one is a man out of time. The second one is a man is in time. But now we're throwing in
look.
all these pop culture references.
Look at the comments. They agree. They concur with me. Look at these folks.
I disagree. He's wrong.
So three people.
They're
So three
wrong.
people are wrong.
They're
Wow.
wrong. Yes.
So
all
now
of them
you're
are wrong.
disrespecting our audience.
No.
You're disrespecting our audience.
I am simply explaining why, and once they hear my explanation, they'll understand what I
Continue,
just said.
continue.
If you throw in the pop culture references, Just the Two of Us was a song by Will Smith that he sang. And at that time, it was a hot song. So what do? They use Mini-Me and Dr.
Dr.
Evil
Evil
to re-sing that song and do a parody of it. But if you rewatch it now, it's kind of silly because it was silly then, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make as much pop culture sense because you're not within that time. Whereas the first one was just about the man out of time, and everything he referenced was from the swinging 60s, baby, yeah, which we all know is in the past. But now we have stuff from the past that's supposed to be the present, but actually is now super in the past and dated too. That's why it doesn't work as well now as the original Austin Powers, which again is a far superior film.
Okay.
I'm gonna just tell you one
your
scene.
opinion.
One scene just destroys your second movie, and it's when Austin Powers was stripping down while the music, How I Touch Myself. That whole scene right there.
That was the first film, so.
That's the
No,
first
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That scene alone was better than the second movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's basically me and the audience versus the rest of y'all.
No,
I
it's
love
just Dane, who probably forgets how good the first one is.
And Black Crow, he's
Black
wrong too.
Crown,
Black Crown's
by the
wrong.
way.
Janet's
who-
wrong too, I guess.
Well, Janet's always wrong. Let's be realistic here.
Okay.
I mean, you know that.
All right.
God.
And Big Sean says, Kevin, seriously? Shagged is horrible.
Really? Are you serious, man?
Oh, well, there you go.
One-
Perhaps you should tell him that he's wrong then.
I will tell him that he's wrong.
All right. To his face.
For me,
I will.
There are elements of Shagged that are
Sean
funny,
agrees with
that,
me.
But
The other Sean.
as a whole, it doesn't hold up for me.
Yeah.
As a whole, I'd much rather
No.
watch the original.
So you prefer
than
Maria
Vanessa
agrees.
Vanessa over Felicity Shagwell?
Yes, and there's
Yeah.
there's like too many gags in Shagged. Like there's too many. Like they went too far. They
I
went
think-
too much.
The third one, in my opinion,
I think everybody
really
that's
went too
choosing
far.
the second one
Goldmember
over the
really went
first
too far.
needs to go and rewatch
Fine.
the first two. And
I think
then
they're just
decide.
clouded. They're
It's
clouded
a
by
sentimentality based upon the time when they watched it, and that's just a
Like,
personal opinion.
Honestly,
Yes,
when you
of
think
course.
about the Austin Powers movies, which one do you sit down and actually watch the most?
What do you have
I bet
when you
I
go to
bet
watch?
anything for most people, it's going to be the first one.
Right, or when you have a birthday party and they're screening one on a rooftop at a parking lot in a mall,
Right?
and there's an
How often do
impersonator
they screen
of
Shagged or
Austin
Goldmember?
Powers that's doing the impersonation there at your birthday party. What movie was that? It wasn't The Spy Who Shagged Me. It was the first Austin Powers.
Not only that, but Elizabeth Hurley. Oh.
But Heather Graham, though. Heather Graham.
No,
Elizabeth
Hurley was way
Hurley.
better.
Heather Graham.
Heather Graham's pretty, don't get me wrong, but Elizabeth Hurley
is
was
a better
the
actress.
bee's
Is a better actress.
knees.
I'll give you that.
Yes.
She's a better actress. I'll give her that.
Heather Graham was Denise Richards.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Heather Graham's a better actress than Denise Richards.
Mm,
I think so.
I don't know.
Do you think Denise Richards could have played that role in
You know what I think it is?
And
I think
Denise
she
Richards
just
just
prefer
eye candy.
blondes.
aren't they both blonde?
If no,
I thought they both were
No.
blonde. I
no,
thought they both were
absolutely
blonde.
not.
I
Elizabeth
thought-
Hurley? No, she's a brunette.
If
I thought
if
she was
El-
dirty blonde. I thought Elizabeth
No,
Hurley was like dirty
if
blonde.
Elizabeth
she's a
Hurley-
brunette. She's a straight up
and I'll
brunette.
tell you what, right now, if you look at the both of them, go to both their Instagram pages and tell me who you prefer now.
Okay, we'll take a
Do
look.
it.
We'll take a look.
Elizabeth Hurley still.
It's gonna be Elizabeth Hurley.
Dude.
I guarantee you.
Bro,
that.
dude, Elizabeth Hurley and
I mean,
Bedazzled,
I'm not a
oh,
stalker or anything, but I've seen her page multiple times, and yeah, saucer and milk, table
you,
for two.
Did you consult? Did you consult with Maria on that?
Maria agrees with me. The first one's better.
No. I'm talking about going to the Instagram.
Janet says Heather Graham is hotter. Janet, you're drunk. Go home.
Wow.
I feel like Heather Graham always has that like doe-eyed, like surprised look
Yeah,
on her face.
she does all the time. She looks like she's just surprised. John Fox says Denise Richards was in James Bond. Heather Graham might be the worst, but both equally bad. And
Denise
Sean
Richards
says,
is
did you
not a
guys
really
discuss
good,
all the Planet of the Apes sequels yet? Doesn't look like we're going to get to it.
She looks terrible to you?
Yeah, awful. Oof. Just nasty.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Oh,
Fair enough. I mean,
oh, gross.
okay, all right, you say so.
Kevin, do you wear glasses?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
I
have-
need to.
I have 2015 vision. I have 2015
All right,
vision,
real
so-
quickly, I'm going to bring up my last one. It's going to be an odd choice, guys, so bear with me. This is the best Punisher movie we ever got. That is not a Punisher movie, and it's
Because it has
The
Frank Castle in
Purge
it.
2 Anarchy.
Because it has Frank Castle in it.
Frank Grillo is basically playing Frank Castle. So imagine Frank Grillo in this film, The Purge 2, is Frank Castle. He's lost his family, right? And they announced the Purge.
He's angry.
And he's gonna go out and get vengeance on the person that drunk drived and killed his family, right? Or mob that did the hit or whatever, put that in your head. And along the way, he realizes that other people need him more than he needs his revenge. What a fantastic story, and what a surprise horror film that really just turns into a feel-good movie that I don't understand how it happened, who greenlit this, but I'm so happy they did because it's the best of the franchise. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it to anybody
So better
that
than Election
loves
Year.
yes, that loves family films, that loves horror films, that loves action adventure, that loves thrillers, any of those,
Spence.
to watch The Purge 2 Anarchy. It is so good. I mean, so good. Just imagine every time you watch this, or the first time you watch it, Frank Grillo, the guy right here on the right, that is the Punisher. Just imagine that. And this is the greatest Punisher film we never got. And highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
See, what I liked about part 2 in The Purge was that you not only do you see people taking advantage of the system, but you just see the crazies from like the religion people to young adult women that said, "Oh, I killed my parents because I could do that." To it was just all around. I could watch that movie from beginning to end and enjoy it all the way through.
Yeah.
It's
just really good. It's got at least one actor from, I think it was Friday Night Lights. He was in Friday Night Lights. And that series on television was great. It was fantastic. It was so well done that NBC wasn't able to afford to continue with it. So DirecTV stepped in and said, hey, if we can get this series first and you can air it later, we'll help save it and continue that. That's how good of a series that was with such good performances. So taking any of these actors from that series and putting them in this film just brings it up just a little bit more.
That's a good point there he makes.
Frank says the problem with the Purge series is that realistically, people would retaliate for their loved ones being killed on non-Purge days. I know that I would.
Now, Frank, I thought you were a man who turns the other cheek. I didn't think you would do such a thing.
Frank has 7 cheeks.
How could you have 7 cheeks?
Figure that one out.
That's not possible to have 7 cheeks.
That's
like
what
that lady in Total Recall that had 3 boobies.
he has extra butt cheeks. Frank has extra butt cheeks. He sits down very comfortably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do us really quickly. Actually, let everybody just mention one more.
Fine.
Don't mention why. Just mention one more, and we'll just go down the line. Tracy?
Bride of Frankenstein.
Bonnie?
Grease 2.
Sal?
Oh man, Superman 2.
Okay.
It's fine.
Kevin?
Superman 2. Zod.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
And me, I am going to go with, what am I going to go with? Thor Ragnarok, which was definitely better than 1 and 2 in Thor franchise.
This was so good, we got to do a part 2 sometime later this year on
Perhaps.
this, because there's so many of them.
We'll see.
So many.
An honorary one, Winter Soldier.
Oh, that was on the list.
Absolutely.
That was on the list.
Absolutely. Captain America Winter Soldier,
That was on the list.
by far the best.
Someone says next Friday over Friday. Really?
Let's
Wow.
see. Maria, hot take on this one. Maria says Batman Returns. I
agree, Maria.
I disagreed with her just because I feel like the first one is so seminal and having the Joker, Jack Nicholson defined who the Joker was, redefined it again. And Heath brought a spin to it, but I still think when you think the Joker, you look and you think of Jack Nicholson.
And John has a good one. We talked about that one before. Wrath of Khan.
Black Crown, did you say next Friday over Friday? Did you say
Yeah,
that?
he said
Okay.
that. Or she
John Fox says Wrath of Khan. Yeah, Star Trek 2, but not the new ones.
Next Friday after the first Friday? I'm about to disagree on that one.
I do like them both. Janet says, I could see... Oh, she's talking to Frank. Frank says there we go. Big Sean says, The Punisher 2004 was better than the 1989 low-budget Dolph Lundgren movie. Well, was The Punisher nude in almost every scene in the 2004 film? No, Big Sean, he was not. Right? Because he was like living down in the sewers with candles all around, oiled up, naked.
Why is he naked in the sewers?
You told me that was like your
that's just weird.
favorite film to watch alone.
No, that's not true.
That's what you told. That's what you told me.
Those facts are not
That's
facts.
what you told me.
Those are not
What?
facts.
You told me
You
that.
had baby oiled
Unfacts.
right next to your bed.
Those are
Well, yeah,
unfactual.
he was oiled up.
That's
Yeah.
unfactual.
Just like the Punisher.
It's unfactual.
He was like, I like to get oiled up and watch the 1989 Dolph Lundgren Punisher film. And I was like, all right, Kevin.
Shock your nipples, you sick man.
We're at my grandmother's birthday party, but okay, thanks for bringing that up. It was a very awkward moment.
That is a big cat, Tracy.
He's not that big. It's just the angle. He looks big. He's not. Though.
Sean says Superman 2, I agree with Big Sal. Terrence Stamp as Zod was amazing. Big Sean says Wrath of Khan, absolutely. Khan. And Gray says Spider-Man 2.
Yep, we had that on the list too.
With Spider-Man and then 2 on the Tobey Maguire's, and then with the Tom Holland.
No Way Home.
No Way. Was it No Way Home?
Yeah.
Yeah, No Way Home. Yeah.
So you liked number 2 over Green Goblin?
Yes.
Dr.
Octopus
Really?
is the best villain.
100%. Yes.
Alfred Molina, absolutely the
Alfred
best villain
Molina
from that
was
trilogy. Amazing.
revelation.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Most sympathetic
dude.
villain.
That is the hugest cat I've ever seen.
William Dafoe was just
That big.
Well, to be
He
honest, look, Sal, to be honest with you, William Dafoe, I feel, gets done better.
That's
in
a
no
pretty
way,
big cat,
in
Tracy.
No
that's
way,
a lion.
No Way Home.
That's a mountain lion. Right
you
there.
got a
You
tiny
lied.
lion.
Oh my God, that is a mountain lion.
Tracy's got a
liar.
That's a
tiny
mountain
lion
That's a mountain lion. That's
in
a
her
cool-
home.
Bullshit.
That
You
cat's
better
huge.
let it out, Tracy. You gotta
cat's
let
huge.
that thing go. It's gonna eat your face.
That cat's as big as
That
Donald.
cat beats up dogs outside.
Wow.
I don't
think it
think he's
does.
that big. I think he's actually quite small.
Definitely the town bully.
Okay,
How much does he
okay.
weigh?
You need glasses too.
John
Yeah.
Fox.
Days of Future Present.
John Fox. X-Men 2 over all of
He
them.
weighs 10 pounds.
And then
Seriously?
Maria says, "Oh, there goes Tokyo. Oh, Tracy's cat."
This
That's
Nice.
a small cat right there, Tracy. That's
guy's
normal.
Black
size.
Crown says, "Oh my God, that cat is huge."
Tracy, what do you feed that cat? What do you feed that cat?
I agree, Big
How many
Sean.
cans do you give
Christmas
that cat?
vacation.
He
Seriously,
doesn't have any wet food at all. He only gets dry food.
are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Does he eat? Does he
If you
eat
have-
humans?
Okay.
He's stealing
So-
milk somewhere.
He's
Look,
quite
You look,
No,
Tracy.
he's not.
Tracy, you could barely
He's
lift that
stealing
thing.
milk somewhere.
Tracy, you could barely
He's
lift that
bullying
cat.
other cats for their milk or
Seriously,
something. I
he's
don't
killing
know.
other cats for the milk.
Straight up. He's
Tracy, if you
stealing somebody's milk.
if you ever wake up and you go, "Oh, I'm so sore,"
Oh my god.
Grace says,
Cat looks up at Tracy.
"I know. I'm sorry." Grace says, "Dawn of the Dead." I don't know.
Over Night of the Living Dead.
Here's the thing: Night of the Living Dead was so seminal for a lot of reasons, and one of them being the lead was an African American in a lead film back in that time.
You know what's funny when he mentioned that? Dawn of the Dead to me is like what Aliens is to Alien. There's different movies. They're
Yeah.
different movies. They're both great, but just different movies.
Oh, Phelps with the win here for the night. Says Army of Darkness. Yeah, I agree.
Nah, Evil Dead, the first one's better.
I thought he was gonna weigh in on McClane, but he did
Tracy
not.
of the Tigers. Tracy of the Tigers.
Big Sean says Tracy of the Tigers. Yeah, and Janet says this cat is coming after you all for insulting him. Probably he's got like a goddamn notches on your bedpost or some shit.
Dude, I saw the expression that cat was making. He was like, "You're gonna let them talk to me like this,
I am
Mom?
Legend.
Was that a sequel?
Yeah.
Let them talk
It's
to me
different
like
versions of the
this."
same story. Omega.
They're
Yeah,
dead.
that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 3.
Well, Tracy, if we find out that you've been smothered in your sleep
We'll know why.
with a large pillow from a giant cat,
We'll know why.
well, yeah, and you got like maybe she's got like she chokes to death a giant hairball in her mouth at night.
and
Because
then,
she didn't give
and
him
then you'll-
enough milk.
And then
or
you'll
some
need a
shit.
real Puss in Boots to come save you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same cat they used in Watchmen with osmosis.
Amish, not the right show. We're talking about sequels that are better than the originals, not remakes.
Yeah, we did that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but
Which one's
you
the
know,
zombie movie that Zack Snyder did? That was a remake.
Dawn of the
Dawn
Dead.
of the Dead.
That was okay.
Which that one's
like-
arguable on it because
I
at
really,
the time,
I really like that one.
Me too. It
I
was
really like
good.
that one
It was good. It was
because
fun. A lot of
what
fun.
I like about what Zack Snyder does is that he pays homage to the original guys.
Mhm.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were in that movie.
Mhm.
oh,
you
Zack
know-
Snyder's another one of those. I think that he's a director that's better than people give him credit for.
He's very underrated.
So I'll put him on the underrated director.
Yeah,
thing?
I probably
Okay.
would. I mean, they said that Watchmen was an unmakeable film, and he made it, and it's amazing. I love
It was
it.
badass.
I love
You
Watchmen.
have to watch the unrated version, but
Go figure, you know.
all
All right.
you're gonna see a lot of blue dick, but it's all right.
Oh well, that's nice. That's your favorite,
You know, with all these great comments, we'll do a part 2 later this year.
perhaps.
And also, please be so kind to leave a like for the YouTube algorithms.
Yeah.
Because we need that in order to enhance the advertising revenue for our show and program.
Gray, you're not wrong, and I hope that the DC universe expands and just gets better and better. But we'll see. I want to thank Half's Hot Sauce. I want to thank Splattered Frog Brewing Company, our sponsors of the podcast. Go to halfshotsauce.com, type in the code Donald Hiccup, save 10% off your order. Go to Splattered Frog Brewing, go to splatteredfrog.com, type in Shortbox, save 20% off your order, and get some nice cool hats like this. You can put pins on the side. They're trucker hats. They're really cool, fun. I've had my hat for, a couple years now, and it's still holding strong. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Tracy and Big Sal for being on, and I want to thank, especially thank Bonnie for pulling in the clutch. Unfortunately, Monty was going to be one of our guests and was not able to make it due to some power outages in his area and some tornadoes and things like that.
Also,
So
today, let's wish a
hopefully
happy
he's fine.
birthday to Professor Chris Turner.
Yes, happy birthday to Chris, who will be back next week. Chris Turner will be back. He's feeling better. He's going to be back and rocking the podcast with us, the live show. So look forward to that next week. And we also have a very exciting lineup of podcasts coming that we're going to be posting on Friends of the Real Shortbox. So if you're not in the Friends of the Real Shortbox on Facebook, ask to be invited in. It's an elite members only club. We don't charge,
How come?
but you have to ask to be in.
I thought we were charging people that.
Nah, nobody would do
You
it.
said you wanted to charge $50 per membership.
Oh, that was just you.
Oh,
I just needed $50.
Okay. Wow.
I know.
I think Donnie wanted Taco Bell that night.
I
so
can't
he
believe you
charged
fell
$50.
for it. Yeah, man, I got those Crunch Wrap Supremes. Am I right, Mom? Crunch Wrap Supremes.
Delicious.
Yeah. My
Tell
mom
them
and dad are
I-
addicted.
Spicy potato soft taco for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Good
those are
stuff.
nice. Those are nice. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
breakfast crunch wrap.
Or alternatively, you can go to it's not Taco Bell, it's Del Taco, and you can get the bean and cheese burrito with the green salsa inside. So good.
Salsa verde.
So good, and that's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. How about that? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we appreciate you all. You can find our podcast platform on all kinds: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker,
Apple,
Stitcher.
Google,
Google, Stitcher, Amazon, you name it, we're on it. But with that being said, if you're feeling thirsty, perhaps you should crack open an ice cold can.
Of sparkling and always oh, good lord, sequential. Consider the right word. Sequential. Rumble Pop.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.